costs using a traditional as well as activity-based system. Bubba and Danny and college friends are planning a skiing trip to Killington before the new year. They estimated the following for the trip: food, skiing, and lodging for a total cost of $980. And there's an activity allocation, pounds of food eaten between Bubba and Danny, number of lift tickets, and number of nights there. Bubba suggests that the costs are shared equally. Calculate the amount each person would pay. And so if they're going to split it equally, we could obviously just say 980 divided by 2 people for a total of $490 per person. Danny does not like the idea of sharing the costs equally because he plans to stay in the room rather than ski. Danny suggests that each type of cost be allocated to each person based on the above listed allocation bases. Using the activity allocation for each person, calculate the amount that each person would pay based on his own consumption of the activity. So we'll come down and the working paper template kind of gave us some little basics to get started with this problem. And so we're going to start out looking at the total pounds of food eaten. So for Bubba, let me scroll this back up. We have 24 pounds for Danny, we have 26 pounds, for a total of 50 pounds. Number of lift tickets, there are 2. Oops. I'm going to drag this formula down so it'll just auto sum for us. And total number of nights, 2 per person, for a total of 4. So now that we have that, the cost allocation rate is going to be our total estimated cost divided by the total estimated quantity of the allocation base. And so for food, we have an estimated cost of 400, oops, not 4,000, 400, with a base of 50 pounds. And so if we divide 400 divided by 50, we get $8 per pound. For the skiing, we have a cost of 300, total tickets of 2, for $150 per ticket. And for lodging, a total cost of 280 divided by quantity of 4. So 70 per night. So now that we have all of our allocation rates, we can plug those in times the quantity of the cost driver used to get the allocated cost for Bubba versus Danny. And so the allocation rate for food was $8, skiing is $150, lodging is $70. We'll do a sum here for $228, and those are just weirding me out that they're not aligned. Okay, and I'm gonna copy those down because the allocation rate, I should have just copied the values. Okay. Giving me problems here. 8, 150, 70. Okay. So the allocation rate stays the same between Bubba and Danny. What's going to be different is the quantity of the cost driver used. And so if we Now we can plug this information in. So for food, we have 24 as the cost driver, 24 pounds for Bubba, 2 tickets for Bubba, 2 nights for Bubba. For Danny, we have 26 pounds of food, 0 ski tickets, 2 nights of lodging. And now we can multiply across, so we can say 24 times 8. You can drag that formula down and then do a sum. So 632 should be allocated to Bubba, and that's based on $8 per pound of food, $150 per skiing ticket, and $70 per night of lodging. And then we need to do the same thing of multiplying across the row for Danny. Drag this formula down so that it multiplies our allocation rates times the quantity. Do a sum. And we have $348 for Danny. And so you'll notice his food is a little bit more because he's eating 2 pounds more, but he doesn't have that $300 worth of ski tickets that Bubba has.